Hey guys, I'm Tom from the Lens Depot. Today we're going to be talking about our selection of Canon video camcorders. All of these are all-in-one cameras. They have lenses already built in. You don't need to rent separate lenses and you're not able to change the lenses out, but they are able to provide full-time autofocus unlike some of the DSLR and cinematic cameras that we rent. These are going to be great for travel, vacation, events, sports, things like that. So let's go ahead and get started with the first model. We have the HF M500. Now this is very light, very compact. It's going to be great for travel. It does full 1080p video. It runs off of SD cards, so you'll need to rent one of those if you don't already have it. And it's okay for low light. It's not wonderful compared to some of the other cameras that we have. It's usually recommended that you have some decent lighting in order to use this. It's very, very great outside. Next model that we have is going to be the G10, which is also under the Vixia line. Now, this camera has a 10 times zoom, just like the last one, but it's a slightly brighter lens. It also has internal memory. There's 32 gigabytes internal, but you can also add 2 SD cards if you need a little bit more storage. So you have some flexibility there. There's a little bit better manual control on this camera as well compared to the HF 500. And it is a little bit bigger for some people. That just makes it a little easier to hold. The next model that we have is going to look very similar. This is the XA10. The base of the camera is exactly the same sensor, same lens. There are a couple of key differences though. For one, it adds the grip, which has 2 XLR inputs, which is going to be better for more professional video camera or professional audio connections with some of the microphones that we have. It also has 2 SD card slots, as well as 64 gigabytes of internal memory as opposed to 32 gigabytes. So you have a little bit more default storage. Next after that, we're going to go up to the XA20. Now the XA20 is the first big change from all of these other cameras. It is slightly bigger than the XA10. There is no internal memory though. You do have to use SD cards, but it is able to support up to 2 of them. The zoom is now a 20 times as opposed to a 10 times zoom on our previous models. And it also retains the XLR inputs. Now, one of the biggest differences on this camera is the previous 3 that we looked at supported AVC HD, which is a very popular video codec. This camera will do AVC HD as well as MP4. And if you're recording in MP4, you have the capability of recording at up to 35 megabits per second compression. So that gives you a little bit more data if you're going to be taking the footage into post-processing and doing any sort of color grading or editing like that. So just a little bit more flexibility. The next model is going to be the XA25. It is very similar to the XA20. They look almost identical. The 2 key differences are it has an HD SDI output, which uses BNC connectors. It's just a little bit more professional video connector, and it also supports timecode and Genlock. So you, if you're looking for that, XA25 does give you the little bit better flexibility. Up from that, we have the XF100. Now, spec-wise, in terms of the sensor and the zoom, it's very similar to the XA10. It is a slightly sharper sensor than the XA10, but the biggest difference is it now supports 2 compact flash card slots instead of 2 SD card slots. So the reason for this is this will record in MPEG-2 and supports up to 50 megabits per second. So again, if you're looking for better quality for grading, then this is going to give you even better compared to the XA20. Slightly better low light in this compared to some of the previous models, but again, you're going to do better if you're in slightly better light with these cameras. The last one is the biggest change, which is going to be the XF300. Now this is our top of the line video camera. As you can see, it is very, very big. It does support MPEG-2 like the XF100, does the 50 megabits per second MPEG-2 video. Sensor-wise, big change here. It's a 3-chip sensor as opposed to a single chip, so you have better color as well as better low light. The sensor is also slightly larger, so you get slightly better depth of field on this compared to some of the other cameras. It's an 18 times zoom as opposed to the 10 and 20, so it's right kind of almost between the two. But the main thing is there's just a full range of manual controls on this camera. So if you're really looking to make a lot of tweaks, make a lot of adjustments, both in the camera and with the post-processing, the XF300 is going to give you the most flexibility. That does it for today. If you do have any questions, you're always welcome to email us at sales@thelensdepot.com or visit our website at thelensdepot.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.